All right, we are here in Jackson at the fairgrounds. It is the Hub City Fight Night presented by Second Chance Boxing Club here in Jackson. And we're going to see a couple of the older guys, if you will, coming in here tonight. This is going to be out of the Jackson, Tennessee Second Chance Boxing Club. Hometown boy is going to be boxing tonight, Joseph Cleveland. He's 21 years old, and he'll be taking on Andrew Johnson, who is with the American Pride out of Tennessee as well. So we've got a couple of Tennesseans in here fixing to get it on.
Brad, it's good to see the local guys compete. In addition, when you have these guys that are fighting in their 20s, obviously they're fully developed athletes. They've obviously reached maturity, and I think you're going to see some hard-hitting action in this next contest.
Joseph Cleveland, of course, from right here in Jackson, and he will be fighting out of the red corner. And Andres Johnson is going to be fighting out of the blue corner. And again, just for you watching at home on E+ TV 6, when we see boxing out of the blue corner, you can look at the gloves. The boxer has the blue gloves on, is in the blue corner. The boxer with the red gloves on is boxing out of the red corner. So when you hear us make reference to that, be very easy for you to understand what corner they're fighting out of. And I'll be honest with you, Cody, that's something I learned right before the broadcast tonight.
Well, it is convenient for your viewers because, in professional prize fighting, they may have gloves of any variation, perhaps even gold.
Sure.
So it is definitely easier for not only the viewing audience, but it's also easier for the judges, particularly when these fighters are in close quarters, when they're fighting in a phone booth, so to speak. It's easier to find out who's landing the better leather when you can identify the color of their gloves, which match their corner.
Cody, tell us, if you will, is it unusual for an event like this to draw boxers from as far away as New Orleans and Atlanta, Georgia?
I got to say, I was really surprised to hear that they came from Atlanta and New Orleans. That is very far. Typically, 100, 150 miles, maybe. I'm accustomed to seeing them coming from North Alabama, North Mississippi, Memphis, Nashville.
Sure.
But this is unusual to see them coming from as far as New Orleans and Atlanta, which is very, very exciting. That means we got another level of talent available out here, ready to showcase, and this is an exciting night of boxing. This
is the first ever Hub City Fight Night that's presented by the Second Chance Boxing Club right here in Jackson, Tennessee. And a great turnout. We've had, as we said, we have boxers from all over the Southeast. We have a great turnout here at the Jackson Fairgrounds with the fans coming out to enjoy the action here tonight. And we certainly hope you're enjoying the action where you're watching on JEA E+ TV 6.
There's something else I want to comment on while we're waiting. When you have amateur athletes traveling from afar like we do tonight, sometimes their opposition hasn't had an opportunity to watch them compete in prior events like you would see in the professional ranks, where there's plenty of television footage available to their coaches and to their and they would view in their training camp. So when somebody comes from Atlanta and somebody comes from New Orleans and you have no idea who they are or what their style is like, what their rhythm is like, you could have fireworks.
So I'm assuming, Cody, that in some of these events that some of these boxers have faced each other before down the road somewhere, probably, right?
Yes, if they're within the region being again maybe 150-mile radius, 200-mile radius, yes, it's very likely that they've seen each other fight. It's probably likely they've seen them fight over the years, similar to baseball, or Babe Ruth, or Little League Baseball, where you played some of the same teams in some of the local district tournaments, and you've grown up playing against some of these guys. That happens in Golden Gloves boxing as well. But again, when they're traveling from Atlanta and New Orleans, you may or may not have any idea who that guy is, and you're not going to know what kind of feel he's going to have in the ring until that bell rings. So which again can make for an exciting contest.
Absolutely, because every boxer has a different style. I mean, I'm assuming most boxers have a lot of the same techniques that are taught, the fundamentals that are taught in boxing. But just like a baseball player, a basketball player would have his own way of kind of doing things. And when you're facing an opponent that you've never seen before, I guess it does make it a little testy in there for you to finally figure out some moves that this particular boxer has.
Absolutely, and you don't even know if the guy's right or left-handed.
Exactly.
Until he steps in the ring and you see which foot he steps forward.
It looks like we're just about ready to go here with bout number 3 at the Hub City Fight Night, presented by the Second Chance Boxing Club. Our broadcast is brought to you by Jackson Energy Authority, one thing you can count on. We are at the Jackson Fairgrounds in Jackson, Tennessee. I'm Brad McCoy, Cody Gobble alongside, and we've seen some great action so far, and lots of great action coming up throughout the night tonight.
About 5 on the bout sheet. Heavyweight competition.
This is a heavyweight match between a couple of Tennesseans.
Boxing out of Second Chance Boxing here in Jackson, Tennessee. Joseph
Cleveland out of the red corner from right here in Jackson. A great round of applause for the hometown kid.
In the blue corner, boxing out of American Pride, out of the state of Tennessee, Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson from American Pride from right here in Tennessee as well. So a couple of Tennessee boxers going at it. Referee giving the final instructions. Boxers slap gloves, retreat to the corner, and wait for the opening bell. And here we go, round number 1. Again, Andres Johnson out of the blue corner, Joseph Cleveland fighting out of the red corner.
And just as I mentioned in my comments earlier, the blue corner is left-handed, fighting out of the southpaw stance.
And how different is that to face a lefty, Cody, that you've never seen before?
Well, apparently they're both left-handed. So, it's going to be difficult for each of them because lefties are normally accustomed to seeing righties, and righties are often accustomed to seeing right-handers. So the disadvantage is taken away from these two southpaw or left-handed fighters when they're fighting each other.
Here comes Cleveland Johnson, landed a body shot there with his right hand to Andres Johnson.
What makes it most difficult is seeing that straight left hand.
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely. Both boxers, little footwork going on there, sizing each other up as there's a right hand that was landed by Cleveland. Cleveland, a wild left, did not land. Some body punches by Cleveland. Now the boxers come back to center ring. There's a right. Thrown by Johnson, but Cleveland right back at it. Didn't phase him a bit.
Johnson needs to take advantage of his range, his long arms, and he needs to be extending that jab.
Andres Johnson in the blue corner. Cleveland out of the red corner. Cleveland tried to land a punch. Now Johnson landed a couple of shots there to the head. A good combination by Andres Johnson. There is a definite size advantage in this one. You got to say Johnson at the end of the first round here, but you got Johnson. He's got at least 3 inches.
I agree.
Height advantage.
Absolutely. And I've always been told that if you're tall, you need to fight tall. If you're somewhat shorter, you need to fight shorter. That is, a tall man doesn't need to fight short, and a short man doesn't need to try to fight tall. So the tall man needs to take advantage of his long arms, his reach, and develop range, preferably creating a safe distance between him and the shorter fighter. The shorter fighter needs to get inside the taller fighter and basically put his chin on his chest and work the inside, work the body, and work the hooks to the chin.
So when you're facing that disadvantage, you're the shorter fighter. What can you do to combat that?
You got to move your head. You got to get past that jab. You got to get past those long arms.
As we see from the replay right here, as it was Johnson landing a couple of shots there to Cleveland, using some of that height advantage that you were talking about.
Yep.
And we're ready to go. It is round number 2. Again, Joseph Cleveland in the red corner. Andres Johnson is fighting out of the blue corner, both for the great state of Tennessee. And they come right in front of us with some heavy action there, as it was Johnson landing a couple of. And now they're really getting aggressive. And it is Cleveland that is coming in to be the aggressor, coming in to start this second round, as Cleveland now is just trying to land some combo punches on Johnson. He had him against the ropes, but now they come back out to center ring. But here in the early part of this second round, Cody, looks like that Cleveland's trying to be the aggressor in this round.
He is, and earlier during that exchange, he was on the inside exactly where he needed to be and did some collateral damage.
Cody Gobble right there. He knows a lot about the technical part of this sport, the footwork and the head motion, the weaving and bobbing. There was a left hand that was landed by Cleveland there, a glancing blow off of Johnson's head. And now Johnson backs Cleveland into the corner. They tie it up there. Referee is going to come and break them up.
Johnson needs a jab right here. A good crisp jab.
Joseph Cleveland, red corner. Andres Johnson out of the blue corner. Got to sizing each other up here. Actually slowed down a little bit here in this second round. Now here comes Cleveland trying to land. He missed a couple right there. Tried a combination but could not land either one of those punches.
And while I make those comments about blue corner needing to snap that jab, easier said than done.
Sure.
Because I understand that there's going for every punch there's a counter punch.
And now they tie it up once again as Johnson there pushing Cleveland up against the ropes. End of the second round as we head to the third and final round that is coming up. And tell you what, some heavy action right there in this second round.
That's hard-hitting action. We, as ringsiders, we can feel that ring
Oh,
moving.
man, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Especially when they get right up here in front of us. Each boxer in their respective corners now getting some final instructions from their cornermen, making sure everything's right, getting a drink of water, getting prepared for this final round here. Cody, how often is do we see a knockout?
Not as much in Golden Gloves. Reason being, they're using a little bit larger gloves.
Right.
They have headgear on.
Yes.
And it only goes 3 rounds.
Right.
You know, if these were scheduled for 10 or 12 rounds, like you see on HBO and ESPN, there'd be more time to develop those knockouts.
Third and final round is underway. The bell is sounded, and here we go.
But also, amateur boxing is not a knockout sport.
Whoa, there's a good right hand that was landed by Johnson. He hit Cleveland with a good one, but Cleveland unfazed by that one, comes right back out of the corner to face Johnson at mid-ring.
Nice jab by Blue.
And here comes Cleveland again. He's trying to land some combo punches. I don't know how many of those actually found the mark there, Cody.
That's part of the craft of judging, though, or even being a cornerman. You got to see what's landing, and and as a cornerman, you got to find openings on your athlete's opponent.
Oh, there's a big left hand that was landed by Johnson, and now Johnson has Cleveland on the ropes. Cleveland comes right back out though and ties Johnson up. Referee in to break that up, and now giving some instructions to Joseph Cleveland. Boxer slap gloves, and right back at it in center ring. Both boxers right now just kind of sizing each other up here in this third and final round. There's a big left hand landed by Johnson. That one right there may have caused some damage.
Probably his best shot of the night.
Absolutely. And he may have Cleveland in a little bit of trouble. Oh, he just missed a big right hand right there. And now they're back into the corner. Referee breaks it up, and now they come back out to meet at center ring. This round's going to be winding down, so both fighters looking to land some blows here in the final moments of this third and final round. Here comes Cleveland. Now backs up.
Cleveland's breathing heavy.
Yep. And there's the bell for the final round as both boxers retreat to the corner. What goes first, the legs or the arms?
Well, you hope the arms. And the reason I would say that, when your legs go, you're sitting duck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've had my legs go before in the ring. and it's a scary feeling because you get any offense going because you have to push off your legs, and you can't get out of the way of the offense that they're employing against you, and you feel like a sitting duck.
We have a replay here of that big blow that was landed by Johnson. He got him up against the ropes, and
so I'd rather have my arms go before my legs because my legs can get me out of danger until my arms can recuperate.
makes perfect sense, that's for sure. And once again, the great sportsmanship that we've seen here at ringside between these boxers, both from Tennessee, Joseph Cleveland from Jackson, Andres Johnson from American Pride Boxing Club in Tennessee as well. And it looks like we have a decision. Andrew Johnson out of the blue corner, the winner by decision. So he picks up the belt and wins the match, and congratulations to both of those Tennessee fighters. Yeah, what he needs to do